Hey, it's a new year. It's a new Friday, and it's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo at AdFreeShows.com, Podcast Heat, and several other outlets, but I'm here, Mr. Robert Karpolis, for a 2026, the very first episode of 2026. Robert, how are you? Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year, Dom. We're 1 minute into the show. We've avoided any damn it, Dom. So it's already the best year in the history of this show. Hope everyone is enjoying their 2026 so far. It's been like a day, so I can't imagine there's too much controversy going on. But Dom appears to be. Is this are you in a new location, Dom, or is this the same bar in a different angle?
Same bar, different angle. That's it.
Okay.
I'm on the complete opposite side of the bar where I was last at. So
How big is
mixing it
this
up a little bit.
establishment? Like, are they just like fully aware that this is the official bar of Rumor and Innuendo?
They're becoming aware, I think.
Are,
think
are
they're
they
getting
are they
suspicious.
giving you free stuff for? We don't plug them. I don't know what the hell the name of this joint is.
I do. Trace Brewing.
You only, no, Dom. You plug them when they are sponsors. You don't just give it away for free. But we're going to say hi to the folks who are joining us here on this free live edition of Rumor and Innuendo. I realize with this blur behind me, it looks like I'm broadcasting from like the gates of heaven.
Are you my guardian angel?
God, if I'm your guardian angel, you are screwed. E says, "Was up." Wanna Breeze says, "Happy New Year, R and I. My New Year's resolution is to tune in live every Monday through Friday to R and I as often as I can." Honestly, that's my New Year's resolution. We try very hard to be here every single Monday through Friday. Sometimes real life pops up and we can't, but we're happy to be here today. Cami Star says, "Happy New Year, R and I crew." She also adds, "Let's start a Damn It Dom count for the year." There's not enough room on the screen. We wouldn't be able to fit that ticker. I'm kidding. Best producer
So far,
and all.
so good.
Have you posted this week's episode of Working Stiff, by the way?
I have not.
I'm messing with you. I'm recording it with Scott right after.
Oh,
I
good.
just wanted to take a shot with you. Wrestling
was
Old Head
thinking.
says, "Good after morning R&I. TK has clearly been watching the R&I because he is doing the Rogues Gallery with MJF. I literally had that note in my little notes app gimmick from this week's episode of Dynamite that they're doing it. It's weird that they're doing it with a heel, but you know
Yes.
what? We'll take what we can get. Based on the title of this show, we're talking 2 years of wrestling because we're going to be talking a little bit of Dynamite, which did take place as the final show of 2025, and previewing tonight's SmackDown, the first
Yes.
major wrestling show of 2026. All due respect to last night's episode of Impact, which I believe was already pre-taped.
Probably, yeah, pre-taped. Yeah, Robert, let's hammer it all out. We had the New Year's Smash on AEW Dynamite
Which,
this
for
past Wednesday.
what it's
I
worth,
just
sounds
Mhm.
far dirtier than it probably should.
It does. It really don't know. I may have went with Bash. Could they have done that instead, or is that too Great American Bashy?
No, but I think, look, New Year's Smash lends itself to our first ad read of 2026.
Yes.
Guys, if you're looking for your New Year's Smash, you know what time it is. It's time to level up, and Blue Chew just dropped something crazy. I'm talking next level championship belt, gold plated energy, not like the myriad of belts in AEW that mean nothing. This actually means something. This is the newest innovation from the #1 chewable ED brand. This ain't your grandpa's little blue pill. This is the 4-in-1 Beast Mortoast that's setting the gold standard for performance. We're talking 2 ingredients for blood flow to keep that rocket pumping, mixed with apomorphine and oxytocin to tune up the arousal and connection in your brain and body. It dissolves under your tongue and works in as little as 15 minutes. This is a hell of a lot shorter than an AEW pay-per-view, and we've got a special deal for our listeners. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code RUMOR. That's promo code RUMOR. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the first Rumor and Innuendo of 2026. I added an extra 20 in there, so now
we're good. We're good for a couple years now. So Robert, yeah, we talked. You just mentioned it. MJF kicks off Dynamite here, and he cuts a promo. Clearly in the heel route. We were wondering how they were going to handle MJF, and it looks like they're going the heel angle with him. But yes, he has quite a bevy of rogue gallery, babyface rogues to go after him. Starting off with Bandito, who did not get promoted until later on in the show about it. So, what did you think of all this, how it was executed, Robert?
So the opening MJF promo was kind of what we said we were going to get from MJF, which is he's not a babyface, he's not a heel, he's MJF. He was going to go out there, and we were going to get a little bit of uh, a nice Foo Fighter shout out that it's Big Me, and he's got the big triple B. He brings out his title and basically says everything we expected him to say, which was, "I beat your heroes, I beat your main event stars, I beat your main characters. I am your AEW World Champion." Kenny Omega was pre-taped, kind of like those Kevin Spacey videos that he used to drop on Christmas that were super creepy. That's
What a
the vibe that we got.
comparison.
Like Kenny Omega should have been next to a roaring, crackling fire. I talked about this with Scott Chaplin about who should be MJF's first sort of big opponent, and we joked the worst decision would be Kenny Omega. And here it is. You can take the Blue Chew thing off, by the way. I know it's, I know it, and I know it came on
Yes,
strong, but
it did.
yeah,
We let it linger.
you had to let it linger. Anyway, Kenny pre-taped felt hollow and odd, and we don't know the physical condition of Kenny Omega. So the idea that we're going to see Kenny versus MJF at some point in time, it's automatically going to be I'm sure it's going to be a hell of a match. There's no way they can long term go with Kenny Omega, so it's going to feel a little bit like a lame duck program. Having Swerve and Hangman come out from the audience together as this two-man power trip was that rogues gallery feel. The walls are coming in on MJF already, and then they just beat the hell out of a bunch of security guys. This then led to the Ops, which set up a tag match for next week. So I'm fine with it. I feel like you told a lot of stories at once. The idea being we're going to get MJF MJF Bandito, not Beast Mortos, which will be the first sort of opponent. Hangman and Swerve are going to be handling the Ops, and then eventually they're going to focus on MJF. And at the meantime, you got Kenny Omega, who's ready and willing to go if he actually shows up for work.
Yeah, I kind of felt a little differently when the Kenny promo popped up. I was like, oh, that is intriguing. Like, I think that's a good way to kind of, you have two, arguably your biggest names in the company in MJF and Kenny Omega for different reasons. And so it felt like that's the right step to take because you want to make it feel big and impactful as you move on in this year. And so I thought almost that was appropriate. I just don't, not necessarily a fan of like, hey, all these rogues are coming out and you just like announced earlier, right before everything kicked off, that Bandito was going to face MJF, and so it felt like an afterthought. And it still, they just established it as an afterthought later on. I thought.
The strange thing for me with Kenny is it feels like he plays hot potato with whether or not he cares about being AEW World Champion, and I think that's the disconnect that I have. So I'm gonna use a parallel of another part timer in Roman Reigns. Whenever Roman Reigns shows up, it is either I'm showing up as the champion, or I'm showing up to take the title, or I'm showing up to kick somebody's ass who's in my way so that I can then go after the title. Kenny feels like he's got different agendas. There's different things he's focused on. It's not always I want to be world champ, I want to be world champ, I want to be world champ. I did like that he acknowledged like this iteration of Kenny Omega is, I guess, the retirement tour Kenny Omega. I know look, we're probably years away. He's not going to retire in 2026, but the notion of, hey, I might not have that much time left, so I want to be world champion. Great. Let's see follow through with that. But that follow through would involve a lot of in-ring action, and I just don't know physically if Kenny can follow up.
Yeah, that is the underlying question of it all. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, and it will. It all depends on the follow through with it. Robert, we did have a New Year's Eve Tornadoes Trios match. It was Tony Storm teaming with Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy taking on, yes, our favorites, the Death Riders. That's Marina Shafir, Daniel Garcia, and Claudio going at it. And Claudio gets the win against Orange Cassidy with his patented European uppercut. So, liked the match overall, just very confused about the Death Riders.
This is my fault. Watched, we talked about the pay-per-view, and I said, boy, this weird mixed nuts challenge match feels like something that should just be on Dynamite. I didn't mean both pay-per-view and Dynamite. I should have been more specific. It was fun. It was fine. The right person went over in this instance. The idea of Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm together doing something it's okay, but it's clear that conglomeration is shorthand, long word shorthand for we got nothing else for you. It's like, let's just stick all these people together and let them just do something wacky. And they're wacky.
Yeah, I think I'd be more I like the dynamic between Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy. I'd be more subscribed to it if they committed to it a little bit more. But it seems like it's just like a passing thing, and yeah, it's like placeholder for everybody involved, basically. I enjoyed Mark Briscoe's promo too, and the Ted Turner shout out as well.
Yes. It was a shorter iteration of, or longer, a lesser iteration, not a shorter of. There was a short window of time where they put The Rock and Trish Stratus together, simply because it was like, hey, here's one of our big male stars, one of our big female stars. We don't really have anything else for them. Let them be together. If Orange Cassidy were better positioned in this company as a signature marquee player for him, I'd be all for it. It just really feels like when Tony is not going after a world title and she's not in a deeply personal storyline, it's just kind of running on a treadmill.
Yeah, you gotta lay out some groundwork for big stars like that for sure. Both Cassidy and Tony Storm.
Well, speaking of big stars, we got Beast Mortos back on TV taking on Bandito. Did you remember that Beast Mortos has the Ring of Honor tag titles?
I had no clue. Zero clue.
I'll be honest, I didn't realize Sammy Guevara was even back. Like, I forgot. I thought he was still on the shelf and he was injured and he was hurt. I didn't realize not only
I didn't even know the ROH tag team titles existed. I just completely forgot about them.
Well, I knew that the Ring of Honor has tag titles. It's a Tony Khan run company. There's going to be about 17 titles.
Fair.
But guess good news. They remembered Brodito as a team. And then we got Brody King versus Big Shotty Lee Johnson, which they promoted as, this was a standby match. I haven't looked at the notes. Was there a reason that this happened? Was there did something else run short? Did somebody get hurt at some point in here? But for them to promote it as, this is a standby match. The idea behind a standby match is either in shoot world, somebody got injured, something went way too short, and we got to fill time, or in kayfabe world, because somebody got attacked in the back or something, we had to cancel a match, and we're just throwing this out here, and it's going to lead to something else. Instead, it was just a Brody King squash match, which is fine. Didn't quite see the point of it.
No, me too, because the Bandito and Beast Mortos match ran a little long, I thought. It was a great match, but it went long, so there was really no reason to have a quote-unquote standby match. Yeah, I thought it was a little out of place, even just to say that. Just have the match and not even acknowledge it like that. But
Wanna Breeze asking the important questions, by the way. Ring of Honor, what the hell is that? Is that a wrestling show? And is there anywhere I could watch it? No. Moving on. Darby Allin cut a promo that was a great time traveling promo. So from what I understood, Darby's like, it was a hell of a 2025. I climbed a mountain. I warred with the Death Riders. I beat everybody except for one guy, and that's Pac. Okay, but you could have used that to build up to the last pay-per-view. I also don't think anybody was thinking, boy, the one guy Darby hasn't beaten is Pac. This is like Steve Austin saying, I'm going after all the members of DX, and the one guy I haven't beaten is Road Dogg.
Or he's going up against the Ministry of Darkness and be like, man, if I could just get a hold of Naked Midian, he's still on my list.
Well, if you want to get a hold of your Naked Midian, BlueChew.com promo code rumor. Josh Alexander took on Jon Moxley. Now, Dom, you're a smart man. Can you explain to me the new rules of the Continental title?
I actually kind of think I can.
By all, please, because it's involving more math and eliminator matches, so I'm double excited.
So I guess the eliminator match aspect is if you win, you get a shot at the title. But you don't necessarily have to lose if you're Josh Alexander. You can just go 20 minutes and still get a shot at that championship, that coveted championship. Now, as far as the Continental title goes itself and the stipulation to all that, I got no clue. You lost me on that.
So it feels like a play on the old TV title, which you can ask your good close personal friend Arn Anderson. The rules of the TV title used to be they had to defend it every week. You had to beat the guy within, I want to say it was the first 20 minutes. And if you beat it within the first 20 minutes, you won the title. After 20 minutes, the title was no longer on the line, but the match would continue. So you could still win or lose the match, but you were not eligible to win the title. Here, it's an eliminator match, but if you last 20 minutes, even if you don't win, you then get a shot at this title. Dude, I don't understand it. I don't understand the point of the title. You need a reason for someone to care about being a particular champion. And if I'm looking, going, okay, there's a TNT title, there's an international title, there's a continental title, there's a national title, there's a world title. Why am I going for the one that has all these crazy ass stipulations for it?
I'll tell you why. Because it's the Continental, so it's not just international. It's all the continents, Robert, including Antarctica.
Well, if it was the continental, it would be an intercontinental title, so it would be able to go continent to continent. This is continental. This is just this one continent.
Oh,
So you're only
okay.
wrestling in the U.S. and Canada, as opposed to the national title, which was defended next, which was Jungle Jack Perry. He's no longer a boy. He's all man, damn it. That's why he wants real
He's a
glass.
jungle man.
Took on
That's
Richard O'Shea. Fine match.
Yeah.
Totally okay. Oh, sorry. I skipped over the most important thing on this whole show.
Yes.
If you watched Working Stiff and you heard our end of the year thing, I talked about Best on the Microphone. And Best on the Microphone, by far, the Sisters of Sin.
Oh.
This is so unbelievably bad that it's quickly becoming my favorite thing in the world. Like, it's so avant-garde bad that it's like, no, maybe like it's like Tony Clifton singing. We're supposed to be in on the joke.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of this. What I can
I
get
want him
enough
to go to the Grey Gardens route. Do Grey Gardens vibes more so. I think that would really hammer home the point of anything to that. What do you think?
So Wrestling Old Head says that he went rather than Grey Garden, said that they're the twins in The Shining. They are neither. They are the vibe that I get from them is, you know, when Mean Girls, when they do the Christmas pageant and they do the dancing.
I hate to say this. I've never seen Mean Girls.
By the way, not a, I hate to say it, like see it kind of. It's not a necessary. It's a fine film. It's not one you need to go out of your way to see.
I just heard good things about it. I heard
it's
good.
Things. It's like I was watching, you know, the Rewatchables podcast with Bill Simmons.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So Bill Simmons, he comes up on my algorithm all the time on like YouTube videos and things like that. We would be on your algorithm more if Dom put clips up, but that's beside the point. He's a very busy man. He's got you know, ad reads for Rob Van Dam to do with Violent J and Vince Russo and the whole gang. But Bill Simmons, the number one movie he has watched the most in the last 25 years was Devil Wears Prada.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Part of his argument was it's his wife's favorite movie, it's his daughter's favorite movie, so it's just on a lot, and it's one you can just jump in at any time. It's not a bad film, but it's not one you're going out of your way and watching more than anything else in the last 25 years. Gun to your head, what is, if you had to think of like the movie you've probably seen the most in the last 25 years, what is it?
It's either Caddyshack or Jaws.
Well, no, sorry. It had to have been coming. It had to come out in the last 25 years, not of all time.
25 years.
Yeah. So going back to like 2001 to now was how they quantified it.
Probably like Dark Knight, I guess.
Dark Knight would probably be a top one for probably Dark Knight or Social Network. Anchorman would probably have to be up there. I've seen Pitch Perfect more than a grown man probably should have. I love that movie unapologetically. It's one of my all-time favorites. Skylar Astin, by the way, huge WWE fan.
Let's get him on the show.
He's been on Working Stiff before.
All right, let's get him on here.
But instead of that, we got a Death Rider promo.
Ugh.
So this was like, you know, rather than peanut butter and jelly, it was peanut butter and halibut. John Moxley is still trying to be this like, I'm the babyface guy who's going to defend Shelton Benjamin. You want to face me for this title? Go ahead. And here are all the heels. You're going to talk about all the heel stuff. I don't get it.
Hey, we missed the headline here, Robert. MVP, he had your jacket on that you had in New York. You notice
I
that?
did notice
As he
that.
showed up?
Yeah, MVP and I rocking the same. I did, and it's funny when I was in the city, I saw that jacket in the window of a store, and I was like, "Oh, there we go."
There it
So
is.
clearly, I'm doing a little marketing for them. But thank you for that. It was very cold in New York, and I was very very happy about that. I did have
Yeah.
one wrestling interaction, which I'm going to tell that story on Working
Okay, we'll
Stiff.
wait for it.
So
We'll wait for it.
that's worth checking out. Uh, Less logical than walking around outside in a fairly thin coat in 14-degree weather. So Tony Marie Khan, whom we love and respect, who invites Dom to all of his press conferences, and did he let you ask a question on this one?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I asked.
Was the
Can't remember what
question,
it was though.
"Hey Tony, you just spent months building up this women's tag team tournament to give us women's tag team champions. Doesn't it seem like a really, really dumb friggin' idea to then put a singles title on one of those women?" Because his answer would have
I
been,
didn't
"No, I
ask.
think it's a great idea." And
Explain why you think it's bad though. I do want to hear your case for why it's bad.
so you're trying to establish that tag team gold is the most important thing to a tag team. That is all that they care about, versus you just threw two singles people together because they had nothing else to do, and they're going after tag team gold. You've created all these women's tag teams that didn't necessarily exist. Obviously, our favorite, the Sisters of Sin. They tried with the Penelope Ford Megan Bain thing. Obviously, Penelope getting hurt, so you didn't get to really follow through with that. Marina Shafir filling in the timeless love bombs. You've established a bunch of tag teams. You then take Willow, who feels like, all right, now she's in a tag team with Harley Cameron. Every time they're on TV, the most important thing to them is defending those tag titles. And you had her challenge and then win a singles title. So you've watered down your tag team titles. You've watered down your tag division. It's why FTR always said, like, hey, we don't split up. We are a tag team, good, bad, or indifferent. We're only going to go after the tag titles. When you think of like the Legion of Doom, there have been times where they've tried to make Hawk, or in WCW later years, Animal, a single star. It feels lesser than, because they're a unit. Nobody wants to see Bushwhacker Luke go after the Intercontinental title. You're starting to buy in Harley Cameron, Willow Nightingale. They are a tag team. Willow and Harley winning was the feel good moment. I didn't need to see Willow Nightingale, Pride of Valley Stream, Long Island, New York, win a singles title.
I think that's definitely fair. I think it elevates Willow as a star more so, and you put a big spotlight on her, but it does take away the allure of the Women's Tag Team Championship, something you just tried to kind of instill on your product and make it feel significant. So, yeah, I do get that to a big extent. I guess you could say another argument is that Willow's a star, so she has both those titles and she can make them feel more significant, but that's an uphill battle too in a lot of ways, because you got to give attention to detail to all that.
The other big concern that I have is when a woman does not have a title, she vanishes from AEW programming. That was my concern with Jamie Hayter losing at the pay-per-view. It's like, she's fantastic. She lost. Now we're not going to see her for a long time. Hikaru Shida is floating in space somewhere with Riho and Serena Deeb and Nyla Rose. There's so many people who just vanish from AEW programming that if there was somebody else who could have gotten that win over Mercedes, a big signature marquee win, and now they are the TBS champion, you've added another star rather than weighed down somebody with two titles instead of one. But
I'm with you.
We'll see. What we will see, Alex Windsor points out Wrestling Old Head is missing too. She may have been back in the UK for a holiday.
That's true.
With Pac, who also vanishes for months at a time. We do have SmackDown tonight, which should be an interesting show. This is the first SmackDown of 2026, the first live SmackDown of 2026, and then the last live SmackDown for a little while.
That is very true. And it's hailing from Buffalo, New York, Robert.
Oh, I'm sure it's toasty warm.
Very warm. Probably no snow on the ground whatsoever. A certain somebody is going to be on that show, Robert, and I happen to be related to him. Potentially, he might be on the show. FYI. So you keep your eyes peeled for a fellow Italian.
I did not know you were related to Damian Priest.
Well, now you do.
Oh, no. Well, Oh no, Dre Owens said 3-hour SmackDown. Is tonight the first 3-hour SmackDown?
Oh my God. I guess it is. Didn't think about that.
Damn
Not
it.
needed. I was cool with 2.
I'm fine. I'm fine with the 1-hour SmackDown. You want to go to 60 minutes? Let's make it happen. Looks like there's 3 matches announced for this show. There's an 8-women tag: Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Io Sky versus Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and the Kabuki Warrior. So a lot of different stories going on there. Pretty sure this was the majority of the War Games match.
Yeah.
But what the hell? What the hell do I know? Jade Cargill versus Mishin, where if Mishin wins, she gets a title shot. So guess who's winning by countout or disqualification?
Oh.
And an
So
ambulance
that's an eliminator match.
What?
An eliminator
Yeah,
match.
it's an eliminator match. And then an ambulance match: Damian Priest versus Aleister Black. Is there a world in which Damian Priest beats up Aleister Black, drags him to the ambulance, opens up the ambulance door, and gets hit in the face with a fireball? Probably.
Could happen.
Or is there somebody hiding in the ambulance waiting to attack?
Probably.
We'll see. The strangest thing is, someone pointed out the 3 stages of hell, SmackDown, Wrestling Old Head. So that's next week's SmackDown. Drew McIntyre versus Cody. They announced it on the last show. The interesting thing about this, I get it. We're trying to build a big world title match. What's going to happen? A lot of intrigue. It's a taped SmackDown. They're in Berlin. So either they're just giving you a lame duck main event to make it seem like, hey, come and tune in and watch this, but there's no way something big is going to happen, or something big is going to happen, and we're going to know about it hours in advance, and it's not going to be a surprise.
Correct. Yes.
So interesting choices on their part. One choice that's not interesting, but essential. It's not an interesting choice. It's the standard choice. It's the only choice. That's joining us every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including the WWE Creative _ISH X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, the @SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo, Podcast Heat, and ad-free shows. Hell of an episode here today. Hell of a start to 2026. So on behalf of the most error-free producer of 2026, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Days without an accident, 1.
Shh.